Hey, what's up guys? Eric here with driverlineup.com, world's okayest steering wheel holder. Doing a backyard update for you guys. There's birds, there's people playing volleyball somewhere over there. So you're gonna hear some sounds now and then. But anyway, so I'm trying to spend the next couple days answering some questions that are frequently asked in the comments. This one's gonna be, a lot of you prime drivers, this will be redundant. You already know the drill. But like 40% of our subscribers, according to a poll we recently did, don't drive for prime, or are in the process of, or considering, or just interested, trying to find information, etc. So occasionally I'm going to do videos that are going to be that a lot of you guys who already drive for prime or have driven for prime, you already know the answers, so just bear with me. But this is a question that I said I was going to answer like a week ago, and I didn't get that video made, so I'm making that video now. So basically the question is, why did you turn in your lease truck? And so most of our subscribers know we've purchased 2 trucks this year. The first truck is a Peterbilt 579 2022 that arrives in a week or so. I believe it's going into transport this week. And the second truck is a 2022 Freightliner Cascadia, and that arrives sometime next month. So Prime, this is a lease purchase with Prime. I've already done a video talking about the cost involved with lease purchase. It's actually a pretty good deal comparatively. You're going to pay roughly about the same you would pay going to a dealership. So it's a good deal. So Prime offers, you can do a standard lease, you could do a lease purchase and go the owner op route, or you could do a standard lease and then purchase at the end of your standard lease. So the standard lease with a purchase at the end is not a terrible deal. It's just about, it works out to be almost the same. It adds another year of payments at the end of your 3-year lease, which, you know, is going to put the truck a little over the 200 grand mark. But if you go to I've already talked about this, I don't want to get too deep into it. If you go to a dealership, you're going to have big down payments to go through third-party financing. You're going to have all your finance charges. You're going to have to buy your APU separately. So buying through Prime is a pretty comparable deal. But anyway, that's in another video. So the reason we turned in our lease truck is that you cannot have more than one standard lease truck. So if you're just doing a 3-year lease, standard lease truck, you can't have 2, you can't have 3, you can't have 4. If you do lease purchase, there is no maximum to the number of trucks you can have. For however many trucks you want to make a deposit on and run, you can run 5, 10, 20, 30, 50. You can run as many as you want. But once you go down that path, you can't ever go back to standard lease. And I've seen people say, well, why didn't you just complete that lease, get your lease completion bonus, then purchase that lease? Well, yeah, we would have gone that route if we could have added a second truck during the life of that lease, because we're building our fleet. So I couldn't wait another 2 years to then do a purchase of that lease truck at the end of the 3 years when I want to start my fleet now. I'm looking to buy a truck every year for the next 5 years. So staying in a standard lease, so for the next 2 years to complete that lease and then do a purchase of that truck, means that I wouldn't be able to buy a second truck or get into a second truck until I'd actually paid off and purchased, which would be another 3 years on a standard lease. So that's why we walked away from that lease. And, you know, unfortunately, it's the second lease we've walked away from. The first one was a Freightliner, And we just had to get out of that truck. I could not sleep in that truck. We had to get a Peterbilt, and that changed everything. I was able to sleep in a Peterbilt when it was moving. And so the first time was out of necessity. The second time is out of necessity for a very different reason. So that's the reason why. I hope that answers that question. But basically, we were just ready to start building our fleet, and we just couldn't do it by staying in a standard lease to complete the 3 years, which would be 2 more years, and then do the extra year of payments to purchase that truck. That would just be, it just wouldn't work with our plan to build a fleet. So now we're going down the owner op route, which a lease purchase is pretty much just like going through a dealership and getting financing, with the difference being that you technically can walk away from a lease purchase. You would just lose your deposit and all the money you spent on extras and upgrades to the truck. So it really would, you wouldn't want to walk away from it, but you can. That's the only difference in a lease purchase and third-party financing for a truck, is that you still minimize your risk somewhat, in that if something happens in life, you know, you're still able to walk away from it. It is still a walk-away lease on a lease purchase. You just have a lot more invested versus a standard lease that you'd be walking away from as well. So but yeah, it is you buying a truck. And in my case, about 4 to 6 weeks from now, it's going to be buying 2 trucks, which means I'm going to have about a $10,000 a month payment, with, you know, truck payments and all that, all the fees and stuff. It'll be about $10,000 a month between the two trucks. So you're talking $120,000 a year that I'm signed up to pay, and that's just this year. Next year it would be $15,000 a month, and then the next $20,000 a month. So it's a big commitment to bite off and chew on, but we're excited about it. We're confident with it, looking forward to it, and that's why we've walked away from standard lease and won't be doing standard lease again. So anyway, hope that answers that question. I think all options are great. You guys know, you see a lot of stuff out there on people bitching about standard leases. Look, standard leases have made this opportunity for us. They've created this opportunity for us. They've helped us create a path to where we're at now. So I very much appreciate the leasing opportunity at Prime, and it's been very good to us. We're just ready to kind of move that on to the next stage and start buying trucks and building our fleet. So anyway, guys, that's it for this morning. I'll have another video up tonight. Thanks so much for watching. You guys be safe, make good decisions, and as always, drive to thrive. Talk to you guys soon.